Okay, and welcome back to the next paint test. This is the Krylon Chalky Finish paint, and just like you're probably wondering, I was wondering as well, what on earth is it? I had a need for a really light gray kind of semi-gloss, and I saw this and it looked good, and we're going to find out if it's actually going to work good as a paint for like a hobby paint, or if it's something completely different. It's not like chalkboard paint, like the type of paint that they make so that you can write on it with chalk. I'm sure that's not what this is. I actually don't know exactly what it is, but we'll find out by the end of the video. One of the things it was saying on the label here is that you can finish to transform projects, leave chalky finish, or distress to create a unique look. Now I had to look up what that meant. Distressing, like on like furniture, it is basically describing what you would do to like the edges. Like if you were to paint furniture with this stuff and you wanted to distress it, what you're trying to do is make it look old and worn by like sanding on the edges, like in the corner there or any edge or something like that. You would sand lightly to show wear, like it's 50 or 100 years old, and show a previous paint color or all the way down to the bare wood or something like that. And so that's what distressing means, and what that's telling me is that this stuff probably comes off really easy, but that's a guess. We're not going to know until we find out. But what I've done here is I have pre-painted some spoons and knives in a black color so that we have an undercoating, so if we were going to try to sand lightly and see what it looks like when the base comes through, that there would be something there. Otherwise, I also put the standard regular spoon and knife up there. Spoon just to show coverage, and the knife with that pattern in the handle to show how well details still stand out after painting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to paint all of this with this stuff and see what it looks like. And then after maybe a day of drying, we'll try some light sanding on these with the very light sandpaper or possibly steel wool, just to see what kind of distressing we could do. But here we go. We're going to spray, and next scene will show. Okay, so here we go. That is the way it covers. And I'll just get as close as I can so that you can see as best you can. Covers very good on black. This is 3 coats, one kind of a mist coat and then 2 regular coats. Detail definitely shows up good. And then these are the ones that were just painted straight onto the clear plastic. So that's what we got. Now I know what y'all are thinking. This is probably just primer. Probably just gray primer. And maybe it is, and just sold as this chalky paint. I don't know. But anyway, that is the way it covered. And now what I'll do is I'll give it like a full day to cure, considering I'm going to be sanding on it. And then I will come back and I will do that live. Live meaning, what do I mean by live? I mean, I'll do it right in front of you so that you can see it happen. And we'll sand really lightly on these parts with like a 600 grit or maybe a 400 grit to see what happens when you do that. Okay, so that'll be next. Okay, so these have been drying for about a week, certainly completely cured. I brought out some sandpaper, pretty fine grit, I think it's 400, and we are going to see if we can try to do that distressing. I think these are the ones that had the black. Yeah. Okay, so let me get the camera set up for that and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so basically that's it. I'm gonna put this, take this towel to it to wipe away the dust and see what that looks like. About what you thought it would look like. Let's see what this does. Looks like I needed to sand more, especially on the grooves in there. But you get the basic idea. Well, actually that's the way it would wear if you were trying to antique it or what have you. Anything rubbing on it for years would miss the grooves on the inside. And so, yeah, it works. The distressing part works. The painting works. The coverage is really good. And it gets into details still show and everything. But ultimately, I think basically this stuff is just primer. I think it's just primer. What do y'all think? I think they've put primer in a can with a different label, which is fine. It's actually a really nice shade of gray that I need for something else, so it's going to work out really good, but I don't think it's anything super special. But I appreciate you watching, and I hope it helped you somehow. Have a good one.